Hi guys, it's me Jess here and welcome back to my channels. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how I make a long sleeve blouse with ruffle hem in two different ways. They are actually the blouse version of two dresses that I made before. The first one is this puff sleeve dress in drap style design. I made this dress a few years ago, and at that time I drew the pattern straight on the fabric because the pattern for this dress isn't that complicated. But after learning sewing myself, I realized that having a pattern would make your sewing way more easy and faster. That's why at this time I'm gonna try to make the pattern for this blouse before sewing.
The first step is making the pattern for the blouse. To make the back bodice pattern, I fold the paper in half first. From the folding line, I draw a straight line at one side of it. It will be the top of the back bodice. From the first straight line, I draw another one at 16 cm neck tip. I mark up 9 cm, which is the half of the neck side of the blouse that I want. I also mark at 3.5 cm on the folding line from the end of the straight line. It's the dip of the neck at the back of the blouse. Then connect two marks together. Based on it, I draw a curved line. From the end of the bust line, I mark up 23 cm, which is a quarter of my bust side plus 3 cm. Then connect this mark to the top of the neckline that I just finished before to create a sleeve line at the back bodice. From the end of the ending line, I mark up 23 cm, which is a quarter of my bust side plus 3 cm. It's the same with the mark on the bust line that I made before. Then connect this mark to the end of the sleeve line to create the side line of the blouse. After that, I redraw the end of the sleeve line a bit to create a smooth connecting between the sleeve and the bodice when sewing. Add in 1 cm for seam allowance after that, and we will have the back bodice pattern after cutting. To make the front bodice pattern, I will use the back pattern. From the middle of the neckline, I mark down 18 cm on the folding line, which is the middle line of the back bodice. It's the dip of the neck at the front of the blouse that I want. Then connect the top of the neckline to this mark to create the front neckline for the blouse. This line will cut the ending line at one point as well. Add in 1 cm for seam allowance at this line after that, and we will have the front bodice pattern after cutting. To make the sleeve pattern, I cut a rectangle with 30 cm width, which is the half width of the sleeve that I want, and 60 cm length, which is the length from the neck to the wrist. It's the length of the sleeve that I want. I cut a long fabric line with 4 cm width, which is 4 times the width of the binding at the end of the sleeve that I want, and 26 cm length, which is 2 cm longer than the width at the end of the sleeve that I just made before. So when I connect two width lines together, I will have a circle fabric with the same width at the end of the sleeve, so that I can connect one side of the circle fabric to the later. And sewing. At the top of the sleeve, I make the loose seam first, then I create the gathering fabric later. The final width of the gathering fabric should be around 8 cm, and the length from the top of the sleeve to the ending of the bodice would be the length of the blouse from the shoulder to the belly button. To finish the neckline of the blouse, I cut a long fabric line with 4 cm width, which is 4 times the width of the binding that I want, and longer than the length of the neck from the front to the back. I connect one length line of the fabric line to the neckline in sewing.
You also can find a PDF patterns for this dress on my website if you don't be bothered to make your own patterns. And let's get started.
The first step is making the pattern for this blouse. I use the same bodice pattern from the glider dress for this blouse. For the sleeve pattern, I will make it from the sleeve pattern of the glider dress with a little hack. I fold the sleeve pattern in half first. After that, I measure and draw a straight line with 55 cm from the edge line. It's the length of the sleeve from the shoulder to over the rig. From the end of the straight line, I mark up 19 cm, which is the half of the width at the end of the sleeve that I want, plus 1 cm for seam allowance. Then connect this mark to the end of the sleeve line to create the under armpit line of the new sleeve. I also use the sleeve pattern from the glider dress to copy the fabric hole area at the end of the sleeve. And we will have the sleeve pattern after cutting. For the ruffle hem pattern, it's simply just a rectangle with 20 cm length and 2 times the width at the end of the bodice part. Now let's start sewing this blouse. After cutting, I finish the dots at the front and the back bodice of the blouse. To finish the neckline of the blouse, I use the same way I did at the glider dress before. However, before sewing, I will add one end of the tie to one end of its front bodice. Make sure to keep around 1.5 cm extra at the end for seam allowance later. And the tie should be in the middle between the bodice and the binding. That, I finished one side of the ruffle part, which is the end of the blouse, by folding the end fabric inside 2 times with 1 cm each time and sewing. On the other side of the ruffle part, I make the loose seam first, then I create the garment fabric later. The final width of the garment fabric will be the same width at the end of the bodice, so you can connect them together later. Make sure the final width of the sleeve will be the same with the width of the sleeve line at the baddest part so we can connect them together later. And I will finish this DIY after sewing. Here's my final result. This is not only cute but also such a family blouse. I hope you like them both and try them out. See you next week.